What's going on, y'all? So we have some interesting news here that I've been wanting to cover, and a lot of people are wondering too. This is about the next gen Xbox actually being a hybrid PC with Windows integrations. I do believe that Microsoft is going to take this approach because I think this is going to be their ace of spades, last Trump attempt against Sony, and just to be more relevant in the gaming industry. Either way, they're still set for the future for digital streaming and cloud. And just one day in the future, maybe in the 40s or whatever, or maybe a little bit earlier than that, you turn on your these TVs that are going to be way more advanced in the future, and you just have a controller in your hand, and it'll say Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation as far as a service that you sign up for, and you're using this controller, and the TV has all the technology in there, or you guys get what I mean, and you can just play everything on that, or a PC or whatever you want to call it. So it's going to be more about development and software and content because the internet will be so good too and all over the place. But getting back to this, I do believe Microsoft's going to do this. So let's start off by seeing what Phil Spencer said back then. He said Xbox head Phil Spencer wants to see Epic Game Store, Steam, and other storefronts on consoles like GOG 2, Great Old Games. If y'all don't know about that, it's an amazing app on PC where you can play a bunch of great old games. I have GOG myself, just to show you guys right here. This is GOG. And you don't need to be online for it too. Anything you have, it's yours. They don't take away the license from you, and it can be played offline. It's amazing. So they're going to try to get all of that on Xbox, and with that, that means that strategy means that they're going to have PlayStation exclusives too. So with them making a machine that's going to be also more powerful than a standard console, and probably be able to have some type of upgrades in it in the future, you never know. Microsoft will have more games than all the other consoles, and this will literally solve some issues, and there'll be a crazy method of them getting PlayStation games as soon as PC gets them. I think that's going to be a method. And I think that's going to help them out big time on the market. And I think a lot of people will be open to this. The only negative that some people are thinking about is where there be like problems like Windows 11 update that kind of like had some games having some issues. I think they'll resolve that by then. But I think that's minuscule compared to the potential that they'll be able to have by doing this method. So this is going to be very, very, very interesting to see how that's going to go. Because over here in this article written by Jess Corden, he's saying predicting the actually very exciting future on next gen Xbox. As you had analysts making a recent article saying that the next gen only either Xbox or PlayStation will survive as a console manufacturer. That's stupid. Not true at all. You can't get rid of Microsoft because they have so much money, and Sony will be fine because they have a loyal base. Nintendo's always going to be there too. Of course, they're not going to say that about them because they're always going to be there. But this is just kind of talking about basically what I did. I agree with him. That's dumb for a variety of reasons, but we'll focus on more obvious ones. Obviously, Xbox won't have console exclusives moving forward, but that's not going to be the case if they go with this method. They're going to be fine. I know that exclusives everywhere obviously defeats the purpose of focusing on having an Xbox when you just have a PC and play all that right on there. But the future of gaming from the platform holder's perspective, at least generally, is going to revolve around content and software sales. I agree with him on that. And if you're being a great publisher, definitely if you own games like COD and stuff like that, you'll be fine as a publisher. And then being able to have your device be hybrid like that. So Xbox put a Windows OEM, which means original engineering manufacturer, vet in charge of hardware back in 2023. As y'all don't know, the guy with the big long beard. And then they're saying like the Xbox everywhere strategy, which is why they're kind of do that. So when they have everything on all the PCs, they'll have their device that'll be like a hybrid PC, and it'll be available with the handhelds and other aspects having Game Pass all over it. This is what they're kind of trying to do. And I think that's the best method for them because the other method is just not going to work anymore. That's not the future of the world. Future of the world is being profitable and having your games everywhere, much as possible. See? So let's get down to some more important things that he was talking about. Oh yeah, on deck were devices like the Asus ROG Ally PC gaming handheld, which was new at the time, the Xbox Series X and S were present naturally. We also had devices like the Razer Pro mobile controller grip and the Logitech Cloud Android streaming handheld. This is giving Microsoft an idea of how a handheld could work. So it is better to do stuff like that, like Sony's testing things with the PlayStation Portable. That's good. This way, before Microsoft partnered up with Samsung for cloud gaming directly on TVs, Amazon for cloud gaming directly on Fire Sticks, even back then, it was a strong visual hint at what Rowan's tenure at Xbox would look like. That's what I'm saying. You got to learn first, not just jump in there. So you see, Sonos was clearly specifically brought in to help forge Xbox's future, which increasingly looks a lot more like Valve and Steam than PlayStation and Nintendo, which I believe is the case. Valve would debut on its Steam, first non-Valve Steam PCs in partnership with Lenovo. Xbox's Jason Ronald would also be there, doubtless to discuss how Microsoft is working hard to improve Windows on PC gaming handhelds. And they are paying attention to that because they're using their OS. So this will help them understand that. So I absolutely expect the handheld and that hybrid coming out next year, I think. As we see right here, the Windowsification of Xbox solves a ton of issues. Despite some minor variances, that Xbox and PlayStation platforms are virtually identical these days, both based on x86 AMD chips that diverge almost arbitrarily. So at cost in general, rise and new users into the gaming ecosystem flatline, the ability to grow margins and deliver for stakeholders becomes constrained. To solve this, publishers ram games with microtransactions, pre-order bonuses, premium early access, and various other strategies to squeeze more money out of the existing user base. Another potentially less self-destructive way developers could save money is if porting games between systems was even more streamlined. Yeah, I agree with that. Because that definitely does cause some issues for sure. But, you know, he's basically kind of like giving you guys the incentive future analogy that how Microsoft is getting prepared for the handheld and how they're trying to learn how to make the next-gen Xbox be more like a hybrid PC, but still be a console, and integrate and have people have way more options on there and have PlayStation exclusives on there as well. And I could see that being very much true. As we see right here, in essence, it's my prediction that the next-gen Xbox consoles will essentially be more PC-like than ever before. Phil Spencer has hinted at as much more when he described a desire to bring third-party stores like Epic and GOG to Xbox consoles with Steam. You can't really achieve that if the console itself can't run Windows 32 Windows game packages natively. Very true, and that's going to be easier for them to do that because that's their system. So going over here to Colt Eastwood, as he posted this yesterday, he was talking about it himself. Let's take a look at a little bit what he has to say.
Xbox has had a troubled console generation twice in a row, and now they have...
Because they made a huge mistake at the beginning with that E3 with the DRM nonsense, biggest shot in their face, and they lost the most important generation ever, where you carried over your entire library next gen. And that's still affecting them now, even though Sony's blowing half the generation and getting in bed with all that garbage. Microsoft's doing that stuff too, but that's not why they're in trouble. I actually think the Xbox offers some things that are better than what the PlayStation has offered since day one. But the problem is that they screwed up last generation and it's hurting them so much now. So, yeah.
They have to fully change their strategy on how they'll reach gamers across multiple devices.
Yes.
But Xbox is promising to launch next generation consoles soon with the most advanced and unconventional console ever made. And the best part, it might have more games than any other console in history.
Yeah. I think that that's highly likely, y'all. And I think a lot of people are saying that.
This is Colt Eastwood. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the new next generation console and how it's going to change everything. If you end up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new content. And let's talk about Xbox in 2026. The past two Xbox console generations have been plagued with passable power and performance and the long wait for games. This has lowered the ability for Xbox to push sales enough in the console market. So it's surprising to hear that Microsoft is allowing Xbox to start another console generation, and it could start as early as 2026.
I think that would be possibly the earliest, but I'm going to say probably 2027 would be better.
Or 2027. Rumors of a two-device approach, a handheld and a traditional console box, have surfaced amongst insiders and games media journalists who have been talking to hardware sources. Even with Xbox's own Phil Spencer basically telling IGN that Xbox will have their own handheld soon. There is something so shockingly unexpected and industry game-changing with the new Xbox console plan that will show why this new Xbox console is so unique. Xbox is secretly working on a universal Xbox dashboard that will unify the interface and the whole Xbox experience across any device that is supported by the Xbox kernel and Windows platforms. This means that anyone with a gaming PC rig now or into the future could download and install the entire Xbox dashboard on their desktop PC, laptop, or even new handhelds. And this is integral to what Xbox is doing with their next console. But why would Xbox want their experience, their dashboard, and their ecosystem with their games available on any device that is not just an Xbox console? This would cannibalize the opportunity for people to buy a new Xbox. And all of this would make it possible for gaining new Xbox customers, but the new console wouldn't just be a traditional Xbox console. Rumors have been circulating that the Microsoft Surface team has partnered with the Xbox hardware team to build a console Windows hybrid set-top device. A set-top Xbox console that shares the latest Windows, but also has the entire Xbox dashboard experience, which of course brings forward all of the games that are available on the Xbox Series right now, which includes backward compatible Xbox original games, Xbox 360, and Xbox One titles.
And think about that too. Imagine if they give you the options to customize all the sliders like a PC. I think console players have always wanted that. And I think they're going to integrate something like that. And that would just be like, oh, I could go to all my old 360 Xbox games and I can just turn and max this out as much as I want. You know what I mean? Rather than just having the AI just do what it can at those same settings. I think if they open up something like that, that's going to be huge. So there's a lot of potential here that we see that could possibly happen.
And since this new Xbox console hybrid is fully based on the current version of Windows, it will also be able to natively install Steam, Epic, GOG, Ubisoft, EA, and much more to give you access to any and all of the games you want to own or play on PC. But those games will be fully playable on the Xbox console and its new hardware. This would be...
And you know Steam has PlayStation games. So, and there's nothing Sony can do about that. They can't back out the PC market. So Microsoft is playing their hand very carefully as they migrate to PC big time. And then by the time they put all those games out there, when you launch the next gen Xbox, you're grabbing all those PlayStation games. And they have a better backwards compatibility system. I think that is their last trump card, y'all. This is like them giving it their all and then going forward with that as long as they could. And I think that's a genius idea.
Be the first console in history to offer more games that have ever been offered before, with some 6,000 Xbox titles that are now available on the current Xbox and the millions of games that are across all of the PC platforms as long as you are logged into those accounts. Right now, thanks to the popularity and success of PC gaming handhelds like the ROG Ally, Lenovo Go, and Steam Deck, PC versions of games are already able to detect the customized hardware in these handhelds and set the games to run accordingly with the software and their hardware. This means that with just a few adjustments, the Xbox console hybrid could play native PC games on Steam through their interface and their storefront, utilizing whatever power is built into the next Xbox console.
Exactly. So you see what it's saying? When you have the specs like a PC and it's there and you can just natively get the coding because it has the Windows algorithm in there and you can just put Steam right in there and download it in there and then grab GOG, you have access to the same library with those specs and you can play whatever you want just like a PC, but it's still an Xbox at the same time too. I have to say, man, if they do that, they're going to be able to find some ground for sure. And that's definitely going to tank some sales again against Sony. So I think that this is definitely the best idea, and there isn't a better idea than this. The only thing is just make sure that you're not giving console players who want that simple plug and play PC problems that they don't want to deal with in a Windows storefront or from a Windows aspect. But that's something they're going to work on right now. And if there is some issues, just, you know, have like an AI system on there that helps people get the updates and it can take them right to it and help them fix a problem or go back to an older update if it's an issue. If you can do that and help people out, that's why they have Xbox Assist and Help. I think things are going to be fine. That's why I say I wouldn't worry so much about that, because even I don't really run into that issue. I think that's when people find that they overbloat it up. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, I'd never ran into the issue. You know what I mean? And it happened with some Ubisoft game. Ubisoft, they've been shit lately. But anyways, we're kind of getting the idea here, right?
Console. All of your Xbox console titles, plus PC games using the hardware and the performance. You would get the full new Universal Xbox dashboard set to run across Xbox supported devices on this new Xbox hybrid console with Windows built underneath, which means you also get a conventional gaming PC. Of course, native Xbox console versions of games would be developed utilizing new features for the performance, which for the first time ever will have a silicon-based AI upscaling and frame rate boost set for performance. As for the hardware and capabilities, the new next-gen Xbox may not specifically prioritize raw power and instead be the first video game console built with key AI integration in mind. Microsoft has invested tremendous amounts of money into AI, and its Copilot tech is helping revolutionize productivity, and OEMs are teasing AI-based PCs, and AI chips are in high demand. Right now, you can get games that will produce extra frames and upscale resolution in games to make them look and feel better.
And the reason why that's easy for them is because they have freaking an unlimited money pool. I'm talking about a multi-trillion-dollar company here. So it's not like that's going to be a problem with them. They have everything they need. They can put all the resources into that. So that's not a problem with Microsoft and software innovation. They've been doing that with Windows. And then you see they have a monopoly on the market. So honestly, like I said, it's not like you can get rid of them. The thing is that Sony just cannot fail. That's what they need to understand. It's just the way that it works. If you just look at the whole company as a whole, I mean, they still can't compare to Microsoft, the company of Microsoft. And now Xbox is no longer Xbox anymore. It's Microsoft now that's running things. So that's why I say expect that to happen. Because Satya Nadella himself says, when I look at the Xbox brand, when he was looking at the beginning of the generation, looking at what's going now, it's too poor compared to Microsoft as a company. I want to make it be rich like Microsoft. So they're going to do whatever it takes. And that's something that I expect to happen. So remember this now. It's not Xbox anymore like you would see with Xbox One. And stuff like that when they're running things. No, it's now Microsoft running things, and Phil Spencer's answering to them and doing what he needs to do to make sure that's okay. So Xbox is not dead. It's far from that. Don't listen to people saying dumb stuff. You want everything to be more healthy. You want them to get better. So that means Sony can get better. Then you want Nintendo to stump Sony so that they can get better again even more. You want healthy competition. So I'm not going to go around with this nonsense because you had the PlayStation fan base attacking the Xbox base for 2 straight generations now, and then they can't handle the pro exposure when you get into that. It shows how immature their base is. So that's why people see me doing the balance, because it's just, to me, I'm just balancing the spectrum, and I really don't mind doing that, and I don't care about people's feelings who ignorantly wanted to attack people toxically for generations, right? And then when it's their turn, they can't handle it. Yeah, grow up. But anyways, we get the idea here. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. I think that this is the future and look forward to expecting it. Later, y'all.